This right here, this is your this is a brand new Earthbound prototype. Earthbound for Super Nintendo prototype. So here's your scoop right here.
Oh my god.
Brand new Earthbound for Super Nintendo prototype that nobody knew existed. This has never been dumped. Nobody knows what's on this.
That's like a version of Earthbound that hasn't been released, but it's like a test version.
Yep, this is a debug version. This is the version that they whipped together and they made in, the development rooms at Nintendo of America. I think.
How did you get your hands on it?
It's a cool story, and this is some Sherlock Holmes mystery stuff.
Hey everyone, Don Dusty here with our first Dusty Gamebox interview. And today on the show we have Evan Butler from the documentary series Mother to Earth, and he's the director. So Evan, why don't you tell us a little bit about this documentary that you're making?
Hey Don, super big thanks for letting me come on tonight. This is a lot of fun. I'm super excited to be here. Mother to Earth, it's a documentary. It is a documentary about video games, and a lot of it has to do with Earthbound. Well, not Earthbound per se, but the prequel, which was Earthbound Beginnings. In case you guys didn't know, Earthbound is actually the second game in the Mother series in Japan. Mm-hmm. So, and there was actually a Mother 1, so there was an Earthbound Beginnings. And Earthbound Beginnings was released on the Wii U Virtual Console about 2 years ago. It had like a limited English release. But the crazy thing about that is that was 25 years after it was initially released in Japan. Wow. So what Mother to Earth really looks at is why it took 25 years for this game to come out in English. What's the deal with this game? Where is it? Where did it come from? Why are they releasing it now? But also the fact that this game was wildly available online as a ROM since the late 90s. You could find this game in English and play it. And it turns out that they were actually working on this game in the early 90s, and they did translate it completely into English, but they just never released it. It wasn't even canceled. It just never came out, which was the amazing thing. And so in Mother to Earth, we've managed to hunt down the pieces. We found those original prototypes that were pretty much taken from Nintendo and leaked online. We found where they are now, who these people were that got them out of Nintendo. We even went as far as finding some of the people that originally worked on translating it at Nintendo, former employees, and they go on the record and they tell these amazing stories. What's it like really working and localizing on a game? What's it like making these decisions? What's the culture like? And Mother to Earth, it goes so much farther beyond just one game. You go into this weird black market where people are buying and selling games that shouldn't exist. You go into behind the scenes at Nintendo. You go so far. It's a story for anyone who's ever been intrigued by something. It's a story for the curious. It's a story for people, for humans, for gosh darn just someone interested in something interesting. And that's what makes this story, this documentary, that's what's going to make it great.
And I just saw on your Twitter that you just went to Japan. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, boy. All right. So, yes, we did go to Japan. So I just got back. We just got back. And it was crazy. It was amazing. We had a ton of fun. And so the reason why we went to Japan is that we got in contact with a man whose name was Kichi Suzuki. And Kichi Suzuki is, you've probably never heard of him unless you're either Japanese or a giant Earthbound fan, but he's the main composer for Earthbound. Him alongside Hip Tanaka are the two main composers for Earthbound. It's actually a pretty funny story how we got in contact with him. Mm-hmm. We don't really speak Japanese. We don't have a lot of connections. Another giant Earthbound fan reached out to us. His name is Retro Game TV. That's his Twitter handle, at Retro Game TV. But he goes by Koala. That's his screen name, his username. He's actually a really big Japanese YouTuber. Mm-hmm. I didn't know there were giant Japanese YouTubers, but apparently there are. And he is a gigantic Earthbound and Mother fan. We went to his house actually and he had stuff that should belong in a museum. It was just mind-boggling. He had like jackets and T-shirts and like 100 different guides and
Wow.
and just like every freaking thing. Yeah, in Japan. Like he had Japanese things and he had American things too. He would import like the American merchandise for Earthbound, and he would bring it over. And he reached out to us, and we talked to him, and we actually got him into the interview with Kiji Suzuki. So we went and we sat down with Kiji Suzuki, and Koala was there with us as well. And then we went over to his house, and we saw all of his crazy collection. It was like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
All right.
And he's like, oh, by the way, I have this Earthbound prototype. Why don't you just take it and then dump it and, I don't know, mail it back to me? And I was like, okay, sure. Give me this priceless thing. That'll look great going through customs. I listed on customs video games. That's what I'm bringing back. Video games. God. Here's the one thing about the film is that we did raise about $37,000 for the Kickstarter, but the Japan trip, it was all on us. We paid out of pocket because we didn't initially budget to go to Japan. We never thought we would go to Japan ever. I never thought I would ever go to Japan ever. So we all did. We all had to pay out of pocket, and it cost a good amount of money that I no longer own. But I have memories and, signed video games and priceless prototypes now. So I guess it makes up. I guess it makes it worth it.
I'm gonna share my screen real quick because you sent me some pictures.
I did.
All right, so let's talk about these pictures. All right, so let me go.
Yes. Okay. Cool. All right. So this is Koala. This is a tiny, insignificant amount of Koala's collection. And on the right, you have all these figurines. These are the Band Presto official figurines that were released. So, and then if we're starting at the far end of the table, that's out of focus and horrible because I was making an artistic shot. So you have in the far back, that is a prototype of Earthbound. And that's the same as the final release copy. That was found in Austria.
Wow.
Back in 2012, I want to say, by a guy whose username is Nighty. His real name is Gernot Hirth. He is the coolest person in the universe. He sent me a Christmas present last year. He sent me Austrian chocolate. He's a nice guy. I like him. He's a cool dude, and his story is incredible, and will probably end up being the freaking story for Mother 2 Earth 2, the sequel, because there's our movie focuses on the Earthbound beginning prototypes, but there are also Earthbound prototypes. So yeah,
all right. So that's
Earthbound prototype. But one below that is an Earthbound Beginnings or Earthbound 0 or Mother 1 in English prototype. And that is a main part of the movie. What's interesting about that one is that's one that turned up during the production of our film. And the person who bought it lived within walking distance of the other director.
Wow.
And he bought it at a garage sale that was also in walking distance. So our other director could have walked around one evening to a yard sale and bought a prototype that was near his house in Portland.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so he literally gumshoed it. He walked around, he found the guy that bought it and found the guy who sold it. It was initially sold. Want to know how much that initially sold for at the yard sale? Guess.
No, how much? Okay, if I were at a yard sale, $5?
Correct, $5.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how much that sold for? He sold for $7,150.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Dude, come back next episode. We'll go more into that story.
Okay.
And then the little card right there, that's a phone card, the kind that you get like minutes on, and it has an illustration from Benimaru Ito for Mother 2. It's pretty interesting. Below that on the right, that's a cassette. That is the Mother 1 initial, like the original movie sound, the original game soundtrack on cassette from 1989. Yeah. And then to the left, that is a Franklin badge that was also given out as a magazine sweepstakes back in like 1989.
Wow.
So, and those are really hard to get a hold. Everything here is like thousands of dollars hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
And then these are two lighters right there, and they're given to people who worked on the game.
Oh wow.
So it's, they say Mother 2 on them. They're cool as freaking heck. They're amazing. They're beautiful. So yeah, super shiny. I took some fantastic photos of those. I could send them to you if you want. And then below that is another Franklin badge, but that one came with the Mother 3 Deluxe box when that was released in 2008.
Wow.
So a lot of merchandise, and as you can tell, it's been codified into my brain by this point, because that's what happens when you make a movie on something. You become an expert.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's this?
Oh my God.
Is this the guy?
That's Koala.
Koala. Okay.
Yeah, he has the mask and like the whole, like the makeup and the whole get up, because that's apparently just like the flavor that Japanese YouTubers have. And like his mask is cool because it has like buttons on it. And he wants to, when he gets bigger, is to invest on a real mask with real usable buttons that you can actually use to play games, which I think is the coolest thing in the universe. So that's cool. And like he had the whole get up. It was cool talking to him. And then
this is a jacket.
That jacket is very rare, and it is beautiful. That is called a Sukajan jacket, and there's a whole history behind Sukajan jackets. But Sukajan jackets are the result of pretty much occupied Japan post-World War II, when those GIs came over and just like hung out for like a couple decades. A lot of them wore varsity jackets because that was just like the 1950s, 1960s flair. And so the local bad boys, Japanese, natives, they were just like, oh, we're going to copy the GIs and like be cool. So they made their own varsity jackets. But the problem was that like the materials to make varsity jackets, like cotton and leather and stuff like that, aren't as common in Japan. And so they made these Sukajan jackets, and Sukajan jackets are made out of silk. So it's a Japanese version of a varsity jacket. And like the bad boys, they all made these amazing custom Sukajans. And this is a Sukajan that was made for Earthbound, or Mother 2, that game's release in, I think, 1994 in Japan. And that was given away to the people who actually worked on the game, like the actual original development team members.
Wow.
So, and he managed to get a hold of one of them, which is unbelievable. And it's like, look how beautiful that is.
Yeah.
Like that says Japanese bad boy right there. Like, if I saw somebody wearing that, I'd be like, oh man, this guy's a giant nerd, but at least he's hardcore. So,
right.
Oh yeah. And so that's a copy of Mother 1+2. And that's actually signed by the series creator, Shigesato Itoi, in 2003. Nice. And so that's really rare. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Very expensive. And
oh gosh, this photo. I love this photo so much. This is me holding I made sure to take this photo when our cameraman wasn't looking, because my cameraman always gets really intense anxiety when I do stupid things with really rare things, like trying to hold 3 prototypes in one hand at once. So I was holding 3 protos at once. So on the left, that is the undumped Earthbound Mother 2 prototype. I have no idea what's on it. Nobody knows what's on that. I have to dump what's on that. That is incredible. Wow. That right there. That's your holy grail. That's
1993 Nintendo.
That's right here. Yeah, one of the important things is, you can't see it in this photo, but one of the major things to look at when you're looking at prototypes is the date on the battery.
Where's the battery? In the back or something?
It's a circle. Right, you can't see it very well, but it says, there you go, 1994-03. And so that puts a timeline on when that was produced.
Wow. Beautiful.
And if it's a fake, it would come after or stuff like that. And it's one of like the interesting things, because you always have to try and prove where these things came from. And then below that, the one that says Earthbound, says USA version ROM. Up.
Okay.
That one right there.
Yeah.
So, and it says final NTSC. That is pretty much a copy of Earthbound, but that is for like the internal review versions. And so that one it's the same as the final version. It's not development. It's just for review and stuff like that, but still rare. It's still worth money. There's a story behind it.
NES game kind of.
Yeah, and that is the NES version. That is Earthbound Beginnings. That is Mother 1 in English. That is the one that was found in Portland.
Oh my god.
that Josh, the other
What was he
guy.
doing in Portland of all places? How did he get?
We'll have to come back for another episode because
Okay.
there's so much to it. There's just so much to all of it. Yeah, and Josh found that, he went and walked over to the original owner's house and talked to him and interviewed him. So that'll be in the movie. And then like a couple months later, we go to Japan and we see the same cartridge again because Koala bought it from him.
Wow.
So it's a funny twist that we're like, we're gonna go.
Is that the $8,000?
Yep.
Wow.
So we chased it across the ocean.
Okay, and this is your logo.
Yep, that's our logo.
And what's this? Okay, you got a bag of money here or a pile?
Oh my god. Oh god. All right, so this photo. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to come back. This
Another episode?
Other episode. But this is your teaser right here. This is your interesting thing. This sort of photo, these sort of things are the reason why I am addicted to this story, because it has elements like this in it.
Okay.
Where there's a pile of $20 bills stacked as high as a Coke can, for goodness sakes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to this story.
All right.
At the end of the day.
I'm excited. All right. That's it. That's all the pictures I got? You get more? Okay. Anyway.
I thought I sent you a copy of our the DVD and Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah, this one. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. And there's our DVD and Blu-ray. So.
Yep. I will edit this in.
Yeah. It's really cute. I really like it. I love our cover art. I think that's fantastic. I think that's so pretty.
Who made the cover art?
That was made by our wonderful artist for our film, Alyssa Browning. You can find her on Twitter at Kitty Tank. So she's cool. I like it. I love this art. I love her. Everything's great. I love this movie. It's going to be cool, dude.
I can tell. I can't wait. I'm watching Dusty Gamebox here, and I'm excited about Evan Butler's project here and the team. So what do I...
Dear anonymous viewer, if you are interested in this amazing movie and this project, what I suggest you do first is follow us on Twitter at MotherEarthMV. That's the first thing. And then after that, just like play along with our stupid Twitter posts. We're really active on Twitter. Go to motherearth.com. You can pre-order pretty much everything there that we have. We have some t-shirts, some amazing t-shirts. We have cool posters. We have some pretty sweet backer awards and stuff like that you can still pre-order and get in on. And they're super freaking limited too. So we'll never remake those ever. So if you want one, get it now.
All right, there you have it, guys. Evan Butler from Mother to Earth documentary. It's coming out next year. Very excited. Thanks for sharing all your awesome stories. I can see that you went into detail going to Japan. It's quite an adventure. I wish I was part of that adventure.
I mean, next time we go to Japan, I'll call you first, okay? I'm sorry. It was like spur of the moment. I'm sorry, Don. Next time.
No problem, man. Yeah, comment below, like this video, share it. Ask Evan some questions, and I think we're going to have to do another interview, Evan. So.
Oh man, more talking about me? Oh, that sounds awful. I can't wait.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
Bye. Bye, Internet.